What if I told you that you could disappear into the vast Norwegian wilderness, build a life on your own terms, dodge the suffocating grip of city bureaucracy, and do it all without needing a passport, a visa, or an explanation to your therapist about why you're abandoning civilization? Sounds like a fever dream induced by too many brown cheeses, salty cod, and a fjord-side existential crisis, doesn't it? Well, Nate, it's real. I'm Mr. Norse, and these places exist. Proper Norwegian territories and forgotten towns where reindeer outnumber municipal inspectors. The nearest traffic light is a 3-hour drive, and your biggest worry is weather. The local store stocks your favorite fish cake flavor. Support the channel or enjoy a life of municipal regulations where changing a tap requires permission. Joking, subscribe. Free. The Fishing Village Escape Part 1 Free approximately equals 6 dakika. Norway isn't just Oslo, Bergen, or the famous fjords. Far away from the bustling cities, there are hidden Norwegian territories where life moves at a completely different pace. Today, we're heading to Free, a tiny island in the Lofoten archipelago, home to just 700 people, where fishing is more than a job, it's a way of life. Imagine living on an island of 15 square kilometers, surrounded by cliffs, rocks, and the unpredictable Arctic Ocean. Winters can be harsh, with temperatures dropping to -2 Celsius and winds over 30 kilometers per hour, while summer barely reaches 12 C. Rain, snow, and wind are part of daily life, and you quickly learn that nature here sets the rules. Bree's economy revolves around fishing and fish processing. Around 60% of the population works directly in commercial fishing, with cod, herring, and coalfish as the main catches, totaling roughly 5,000 metric tons per year. Another 30% work in fish processing and local services, while the last 10% cater to seasonal tourism. If you ever dreamed of living somewhere where your work directly connects you to the ocean, this is it. Houses on Free are small wooden cabins, painted in the traditional red and yellow hues you've probably seen in postcards. Average homes are 70 to 100 square meters, built to withstand high winds and harsh winters. Rent ranges from 4,000 to 6,500 NOK per month, which is a bargain compared to Oslo or Bergen. Electricity and heating often come from diesel generators or small solar setups, so residents are hands-on with their energy. This is remote life. Self-sufficiency isn't optional, it's necessary. The community here is tightly knit, with only 700 residents. Everyone knows everyone. Social life is unavoidable but supportive. Residents share resources, help during emergencies, and coordinate directly through local municipal representatives. There's one primary school with about 60 students, and a small healthcare clinic staffed by a single doctor and 2 nurses. Life here is quiet, cooperative, and deeply connected to the environment. Bree's landscape is dramatic. Steep cliffs rise above rocky shores, and the ocean around the island is alive with seabirds. Atlantic puffins, kittiwakes, and common guillemots outnumber humans by at least 5 to 1. These birds attract ecotourists and researchers, and they influence daily life. Fishing schedules often take the birds' breeding cycles into account. Imagine watching thousands of puffins dive into the sea while you prepare the day's catch. Life here also revolves around extreme light patterns. During summer, the midnight sun means 24 hours of daylight for roughly 50 consecutive days. Conversely, winter brings nearly 50 days of polar night in December and January. This affects everything from fishing routines to community events. People adapt, living by the ocean's rhythm instead of a clock or calendar. Freedom here isn't measured in money, it's measured by your connection to nature. Transportation and infrastructure are limited. Beyond the main village streets, there are no paved roads. Supplies and construction materials come by ferry from Moskines on the Lofoten mainland. The internet exists via satellite, with speeds of 10 to 20 Mbps, enough to send emails or do research, but not for heavy streaming. You get used to slow connectivity. This is life without constant notifications, where the sound of the wind, the waves, and seagulls dominate your days. But don't mistake isolation for simplicity. Living here requires resilience. The sea can be unforgiving. Storms, heavy snow, and sudden gales are common. Residents adapt by preparing for emergencies, working together, and respecting the natural rhythm. Every day is a mix of routine and unpredictability. It's harsh, yes, but it's honest. Every meal, every task, every sunrise feels earned. There's no commuting stress. No corporate treadmill, just work that matters, in a place that feels alive. In short, Bree is for those who want authenticity, self-reliance, and connection to nature. It's a maritime paradise, a fishing village with history, and a community that thrives against the odds. Living here is challenging, yet deeply rewarding. You measure life by tides, weather, and wildlife rather than deadlines and notifications. If you're ready to trade urban convenience for freedom, Bree might just be the hidden Norwegian treasure you didn't know you were looking for. So, pack your warmest clothes, bring a sense of humor, and prepare to experience life in one of Norway's most remote, yet remarkably vibrant, islands. Next, we sail west to Rist, the westernmost tip of the Lofoten archipelago. And like Bre's dramatic cliffs, Rist is a flat, windswept paradise of 365 islands, only 500 of which are permanently inhabited. Despite its tiny human population, birds outnumber people by hundreds of thousands. Fishing dominates the economy. Cod and herring are the main catches, totaling about 4,000 metric tons annually. Roughly 300 locals work in fishing, while others engage in tourism, fish processing, or essential services. Life here is tied to the sea and seasonal rhythms rather than clocks. The maritime climate is harsh, with average winds of 28 kilometers per hour and 1,200 millimeters of annual precipitation. Temperatures range from -1 Celsius in winter to 11 Celsius in summer. Flat, rocky islands face storms and erosion, so residents are always prepared. Homes are wooden, brightly painted, and range from 60 to 90 square meters. Rent is 3,500 to 5,000 NOK per month, and property favors long-term residents. Energy comes from diesel, wind, and small solar panels. Independence and self-sufficiency are essential. Birds are the stars of Rist. Over 200,000 seabirds, including puffins and kittiwakes, dominate the islands, making Rist crucial for ornithology. Residents and researchers alike live in harmony with these feathered neighbors. Seasonal light extremes shape daily life. From late May to July, the midnight sun provides 65 days of daylight, while the polar night from November to January brings prolonged darkness. Fishing, routines, and social events revolve around these natural cycles. Infrastructure is minimal. 15 kilometers of roads connect the main islands. Supplies arrive by boat. The general store handles 200 to 300 daily transactions. Satellite internet offers 8 to 15 Mbps, enough for basic use. Community is vital. Residents rely on each other for emergencies, transportation, and fishing. A single primary school serves 40 students, and healthcare is provided by a small clinic. Cooperation and trust are essential for survival. Living in Rist isn't for everyone. Winds, storms, and unpredictable seas demand adaptation, but for those who embrace it, life is rewarding, connected to nature, and part of a tight-knit community where every action matters. Rist is extreme, ecologically significant, and beautifully isolated, a place where birds rule. The ocean dictates schedules, and humans live in rhythm with nature. For anyone seeking escape from modern pressures, it offers a slower, yet fuller, way of life. Beyond daily life, Rist holds a rich history. Archaeological evidence shows that humans have inhabited the islands for thousands of years, with traces from the late Mesolithic era. Viking settlements once dotted the archipelago, and local legends speak of seafaring chieftains navigating the treacherous waters around these islands. One of Rist's most famous historical stories involves Pietro Querini, an Italian nobleman whose ship wrecked near Rist in 1432. The islanders rescued him and his crew, and Querini's accounts introduced the world to Rist's unique way of life, connecting the island with Italy for centuries. Today, a monument on Sandy commemorates his arrival, and Rist maintains a cultural link with Querini's hometown in Veneto. Rist is also famous for its stockfish production, a tradition dating back hundreds of years. Cod caught in the surrounding waters is hung on wooden racks called hjell to dry in the cold, salty air. This method produces world-renowned stockfish exported mainly to Italy, where it remains a culinary staple. The fishery season, typically from January to April, brings the community together in a rhythm dictated by tides and the migratory patterns of cod. The island's flat, marshy terrain supports more than just human and bird life. Seals often haul out on rocky shores, while the surrounding waters teem with marine life, including herring, mackerel, and occasional whales. Nature lovers are drawn to Rist not only for birdwatching but also for kayaking, photography, and exploring the island's remote beaches and lagoons. The Skomvær Lighthouse, Norway's westernmost, stands as a sentinel over these waters, offering dramatic views of the open sea and serving as a symbol of the island's enduring maritime heritage. Cultural life is surprisingly vibrant for such a remote location. Rist hosts annual festivals, including Querini Days, celebrating the historic Italian connection, and the Puffin Festival, which honors the island's iconic seabirds. Local music, art exhibitions, and storytelling events bring the community together, preserving traditions while embracing modern creativity. For residents, life revolves around adaptation and cooperation. The polar night and midnight sun shape routines, while fishing schedules, boat arrivals, and school activities depend on tides and weather. Residents have mastered self-sufficiency, from gardening in small plots to repairing boats and buildings with limited resources. Communication with the outside world relies on satellite internet and a few ferry connections, reminding visitors and locals alike that here, life is measured by nature, not by clocks. Next, we move to Senja, Norway's second largest island, often called the country's miniature frontier, covering 1,586 square kilometers. It is home to roughly 8,000 residents, just 5 people per square kilometer, far lower than Oslo's 1,500 per square kilometers. Here, space, nature, and isolation define life. Senja's landscape is dramatic. Fjords plunge up to 500 meters. Mountains soar over 1,000 meters. And rugged cliffs meet sheltered bays. Its subpolar oceanic climate brings temperatures from 4°C in February to 13°C in July. Annual precipitation reaches 1,100 millimeters, with winter storms producing winds over 40 kilometers per hour and up to 0.8 meters of snow. Summers offer nearly 20 hours of daylight. The economy is diverse. About 40% work in fisheries and aquaculture, 30% in tourism, 15% in public services, and 15% in seasonal or remote work. Local products include crafts and small-scale agriculture. Education is provided through to primary schools with 400 students and a secondary school for 150. Healthcare is available via one hospital in Finnsnes and scattered local clinics. Housing is mostly wooden, insulated against Arctic winds, and painted in bright colors. Average homes are 85 square meters, with rents of 5,000 to 8,000 NOK per month. Electricity comes from the grid, supplemented by small hydro and wind installations. Life encourages self-sufficiency, resilience, and a close connection to nature. Senja is rich in biodiversity. Coastal waters host cod, herring, and salmon, while moose, red foxes, and various birds roam the land. Researchers study marine ecology, fjord hydrodynamics, and climate patterns. Residents live in harmony with both terrestrial and marine ecosystems. Transportation includes 230 kilometers of roads and ferry connections. Internet averages 25 to 50 Mbps, supporting remote work. Despite modern conveniences, daily life revolves around tides, seasons, and sunlight. Fishing, school, and outdoor activities follow these natural rhythms. Seasonal light extremes shape routines. Summers bring up to 20 hours of daylight, while northern areas experience polar night and winter. Community life is resilient and cooperative, with festivals, music, and artisanal traditions maintaining cultural heritage. Local governance ensures education, healthcare, and infrastructure are sustained, balancing modern needs with tradition. Living on Senja means embracing isolation and accessibility. The island supports ecotourism, sustainable fishing, research, and independent living. Low population density, dramatic landscapes, and rich marine life create conditions for an ecologically integrated Self-sufficient lifestyle. Freedom here is about engaging with natural cycles, building resilience, and participating in a historically informed community. In summary, Senja balances isolation, accessibility, and natural beauty, mountains, fjords, and sea-shaped life, while residents live with purpose, adapting to nature and preserving tradition. Beyond its striking landscapes and economic activities, Senja is rich in cultural traditions and community life. The island's heritage is shaped by centuries of seafaring, farming, and craftsmanship. Many families still practice traditional Nordic crafts such as wood carving, knitting, and boat building, passing skills down through generations. Local markets and small galleries showcase handmade goods, from woolen garments dyed with natural colors to carved figurines inspired by the island's wildlife and mythology. Senja's calendar is marked by seasonal festivals and gatherings that bring residents and visitors together. In summer, the Midnight Sun Festival celebrates the endless daylight with open-air concerts, art performances, and midnight hikes. Winter invites a quieter but equally meaningful tradition, the Aurora Nights, when communities gather to watch the northern lights dance across the sky, share warm meals, and tell stories by firelight. These events reinforce a strong sense of belonging and emphasize collective resilience through long winters and isolated stretches of the year. For nature enthusiasts, Senja offers outdoor adventures year-round. In summer, fjord cruises, kayaking, and hiking trails attract those seeking both tranquility and challenge. The Høstfjellet Summit and Segla Peak are iconic hikes offering panoramic views over jagged peaks and deep blue waters. Wildlife watchers may spot sea eagles, seals, porpoises, and migrating whales in the rich coastal waters. In winter, guided snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and coastal road tours reveal the stark beauty of Senja's snowy expanses under twilight skies. Senja also plays a role in scientific research and sustainability projects. Marine biologists study the fjord's unique ecosystems to understand fish populations, plankton cycles, and climate change impacts. Renewable energy initiatives, such as small community-run hydro and wind projects, aim to reduce fossil fuel use and preserve the natural environment that defines island life. Daily life on Senja, while shaped by natural rhythms, also embraces modern convenience and connectivity. Local community centers offer social programs for youth and elders, and cooperatives support sustainable agriculture and fishing practices. Seasonal tourism brings economic vitality, but residents remain committed to protecting their island's ecological balance. Next, we journey to Jan Mayen, a remote volcanic island in the Arctic Ocean, about 600 kilometers northeast of Iceland and 500 kilometers east of Greenland, covering 373 square kilometers. Roughly 77% is dominated by Berenberg volcano, rising to 1,277 meters. Only 18 permanent residents live here, working in research, meteorology, or technical support. The island's polar oceanic climate features average temperatures from -7°C in February to 3°C in August, with storms bringing winds over 45 meters per second. Annual precipitation is about 1,200 millimeters, mostly snow. Sea ice surrounds the island from January to April, occasionally disrupting supply ships. Housing is highly specialized, with insulated units designed for Arctic conditions. Energy comes from diesel generators, water from snowmelt, and rain. Residents live self-sufficiently, carefully planning food, fuel, and medical needs. Employment focuses on scientific research, weather monitoring, and technical maintenance. Meteorological stations record temperature, wind pressure, and sea conditions, contributing to global climate models. Satellite internet supports data transfer but limits high-demand activities. The terrain is dramatic. Volcanic fields, glaciers, and lava flows dominate. Arctic waters sustain polar cod, Arctic char, and seabirds such as fulmars and kittiwakes. Polar bears occasionally appear, reminding residents of the harsh environment. Land-based wildlife is minimal, emphasizing ocean ecology. Jan Mayen experiences polar day from late May to late July and polar night from late November to mid-January. Aurora borealis often illuminates the sky, creating spectacular green and purple displays. Daily life follows strict schedules, adapted to extreme light conditions and environment. Transportation and supplies are limited. Cargo ships arrive a few times per year, requiring careful logistics. Safety is critical, with storms, polar bears, and isolation demanding preparation, teamwork, and training. Life is highly communal. The small population relies on cooperation for daily tasks, research, and emergencies. Social life is minimal but close-knit, with shared shifts and collective management of resources and equipment. Freedom on Jan Mayen is defined by engagement with the Arctic, scientific work, and survival skills. Residents develop resilience, self-reliance, and a profound respect for nature. Few places combine such isolation with global significance. In summary, Jan Mayen is Norway's ultimate Arctic hideout. Its extreme climate, volcanic landscapes, and research importance make it a unique frontier for those ready to embrace discipline, isolation, and life at the edge of the planet. Daily life on Jan Mayen is structured around routines that maximize safety, efficiency, and productivity. Residents wake early, often before sunrise during polar night, to maintain research schedules and monitor weather instruments. Meals are communal, with carefully rationed supplies, to ensure nutrition throughout the long periods between shipments. Cooking is adapted to limited resources, relying on frozen, preserved, and shelf-stable foods. Scientific work is intensive and continuous. Meteorologists track wind, temperature, and atmospheric pressure, while oceanographers collect samples from surrounding Arctic waters. Volcanologists study Beerenberg's volcanic activity, mapping lava flows and monitoring seismic activity. Every observation contributes to understanding global climate patterns, making this tiny island a crucial hub for researchers worldwide. Communication is limited but vital. Satellite links allow coordination with international research stations, weather centers, and emergency services. Social media and entertainment are minimal due to slow internet, reinforcing reliance on face-to-face interactions and community bonding. Residents often spend evenings reading, exercising indoors, or sharing stories, creating a unique culture shaped by isolation. Mental resilience is essential. Extended darkness, extreme weather, and limited social contact challenge residents' psychological endurance. Structured schedules, shared responsibilities, and recreational activities help maintain morale. Seasonal changes, such as the arrival of polar day, bring brief periods of sunlight and renewed energy, while auroras provide moments of awe that strengthen the connection to nature. Transportation is a constant logistical puzzle. Supply ships must navigate ice-laden waters and severe storms. Any delay can affect fuel reserves, food availability, and scientific operations. Residents must anticipate shortages, maintain backup systems, and perform regular equipment checks, fostering a culture of meticulous planning and problem-solving. Despite the harshness, life on Jan Mayen is deeply rewarding for those drawn to solitude, nature, and discovery. The island teaches practical survival skills: navigation, first aid, mechanical repair, and energy management, while cultivating patience, teamwork, and an appreciation for the planet's most extreme environments. Wildlife encounters, from Arctic foxes to occasional polar bears at sea, reinforce the island's wild character. For explorers, scientists, or anyone seeking a profound connection with the natural world, Jan Mayen offers an unparalleled environment. It is a place where isolation becomes freedom, discipline becomes routine, and the Arctic transforms from a distant concept into a lived, tangible reality. Our final stop takes us to Svalbard, an Arctic archipelago roughly halfway between mainland Norway and the North Pole, covering 61,022 square kilometers. The main island, Spitsbergen, makes up about 39,044 square kilometers. Despite its size, only around 2,500 people live here, mainly in settlements like Longyearbyen, Nylesund, and Barentsburg. Life is shaped by isolation, harsh weather, and a strong sense of community. Svalbard is governed under the 1920 Svalbard Treaty, which protects its unique Arctic ecosystems. The climate is Arctic tundra, with temperatures ranging from 1°C in February to 6°C in July. Snow covers most months, and winter storms can bring winds over 25 meters per second, affecting daily life, transportation, and infrastructure. The archipelago experiences extreme seasonal light changes. From late April to late August, the midnight sun provides continuous daylight, while from late October to mid-February, polar night plunges the islands into darkness. These cycles influence work, sleep, and mental health, requiring residents to adapt with routines, lighting, and social support. Housing is designed for Arctic conditions. Buildings are insulated for permafrost, equipped with snow-resistant roofs, and retain heat during long winters. Homes typically range from 60 to 120 square meters, and rent in Longyearbyen averages 10,000 to 15,000 NOK per month. Construction is costly due to remoteness and extreme weather. Employment focuses on mining, research, tourism, and government services. About 35% work in coal mining, 25% in research facilities like the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, 20% in tourism, and 20% in administration. Jobs demand resilience, adaptability, and specialized skills. Svalbard's environment is remarkable. Glaciers cover 60% of Spitsbergen, and wildlife includes Arctic foxes, reindeer, walruses, and polar bears. Surrounding waters support Arctic cod, Greenland halibut, and seabird colonies. Environmental monitoring provides crucial data on permafrost, sea ice, and wildlife, informing global climate research. Transportation is limited. Roads exist mainly within settlements. Snowmobiles and boats are common. Svalbard Airport connects to Tromsø and Oslo, while maritime supply is infrequent. Internet via satellite averages 25 to 50 Mbps. Safety is essential. Polar bears roam the islands, so residents take precautions and firearm training. Medical care is limited to one hospital in Longyearbyen, with serious cases evacuated to mainland Norway. The community is small but diverse. Education is available locally, and research stations host seasonal scientists. In conclusion, Svalbard represents Norway's Arctic frontier, where life is measured by survival skills, environmental awareness, and adaptability. It offers isolation, natural beauty, and global significance, challenging those who live here to thrive in one of the planet's most extreme environments. Daily life in Svalbard is heavily influenced by its extreme environment and small population. Most residents plan their days around the unique daylight patterns. During the midnight sun, people take advantage of the long hours for outdoor activities, hiking, snowmobiling, and scientific research. Conversely, during polar night, routines become more structured, with artificial lighting and indoor activities helping to maintain mental well-being. Schools, workplaces, and community centers provide schedules that align with these light cycles, and social gatherings are key to combating the isolation. In Longyearbyen, the largest settlement, residents shop at a small selection of grocery stores stocked with imported goods. As local food production is minimal, many households maintain a mix of fresh, frozen, and preserved foods due to limited supply deliveries. Energy efficiency is critical. Heating and electricity are carefully managed to conserve resources in the harsh climate. Public transport is limited, so snowmobiles, bicycles, and walking are common for local travel, while boats are used for fjord and coastal access. Community life is close-knit and collaborative. Residents often rely on each other for help, whether it's sharing transportation, assisting with construction, or organizing cultural events. Seasonal scientists and temporary workers add diversity, contributing to a multicultural atmosphere despite the small population. Schools accommodate children from various backgrounds, and activities such as sports, arts, and local festivals foster social cohesion. Outdoor safety is a constant concern. Encounters with polar bears require carrying emergency equipment and firearms when venturing outside settlements. Hunting, guided tours, and nature excursions follow strict safety protocols. Despite these risks, people maintain a strong connection to the land, valuing nature, wildlife, and environmental preservation. Technology plays a major role in daily life. Internet access allows remote work, online education, and communication with the outside world, which is essential during long periods of darkness. Local media, community boards, and social networks help residents stay informed and connected. Leisure and cultural life are adapted to the Arctic context. Residents often gather in cafes, libraries, or sports halls, and organize film nights, concerts, and art exhibitions. Outdoor pursuits, from skiing to dog sledding, are integrated into social life, blending recreation with survival skills.